All right, so basically, while we're here, we're going to discuss the changes in the dog walking program. We'll have you guys sign up for the 2 programs for the level 2, since you guys are all level. So since everyone is all level 2s, and then we're going to open it up for a Q&A. We may do the Q&A first. I think we'll do the Q&A first before we have everyone sign up. Okay, and so I want to let everyone know why we made the changes. I mean, the program was good. I did like the program, but there were some changes that need to be made. Like I said, I spoke with some of you, and also there are some directions that I wanted to go with it. So the major change is to try to minimize the stress for the dogs. So that's gonna guide where we're going with the program. So we definitely want to do what's best for the dogs. We're also doing it based on the feedback that you gave us. And really what I want to do with this program is I don't want it to be a dog walking program. And, I think I've been saying it to many of the volunteers, like, I just don't want this to be a dog walking program. Like, even when I do the level 1s, I talk about, what can you do beyond the walk? What can you do beyond dog walking and things like that? Because I really want it to be beyond the dog walking, what we're going to do for this program. So I really want to build a behavior and enrichment program. And I also want to, I want to teach you guys, about training and things like that. And I want to, collaborate with you on, on helping these dogs out and stuff like that. And you can't necessarily do that with just walking the dogs. You can get some benefits from walking the dogs, but, the benefits are just, while the dog is outside. But I'll get a little bit into that a little bit more. And then I want to give the volunteers some skills so that we have some foundational skills that we can use for all the dogs. And then when we get to more complex things, I'll be able to utilize the skills that you have and that we've been learning. So what are the changes? So first off, the dog walker level 1s, we will send an email. I actually think an email already been sent out, so that they can walk off campus. We have been noticing, myself, Christina, Michelle, and also the volunteers too, because you guys give me a lot of feedback on what's going on with the dogs, that the dogs have been a little bit stressed out, stressed out. This is a stressful place, being in a shelter environment is definitely just inherently just stressful to dogs anyway. But we want to try to do things that is going to minimize that stress. So we think walking the dogs off campus will help the dogs in that they're not looking at each other like all of the time, so they can sort of get away from the environment for a bit and kind of, clear their mind, get a little bit of the smells and things like that. So those are the things that are like beneficial for walking. When you are doing walks, those are the things that would be beneficial for the dogs that can actually go off campus and things like that. So that would be really limited to our adoptable dogs. Because right now we can't really have the dogs that are not adoptable go off campus right now. So we want to go into doing other things with those, to do other things with those dogs that need to stay on campus, since they can't get far off from the stressful environment. The second part would be, so dog walker 2 is just kind of an offshoot from dog walker level 1. So we will still be doing the dog walking, the basic dog walking and things like that, but I'm going to add a couple elements, talk a little bit more about like loose leash walking, and then start to talk about the adoptable dogs, the yellow colored dogs, and those dogs who show a little bit more stress in this environment, and giving the dog walker level 2s a little bit of knowledge on how to deal with those and what we do in terms of behavior plans and things like that. So that there'll be specific behavior plans for those dogs, and we will be talking about the main issues that we see in this population of dogs. So I would talk to the dog walker 2s about those specific dogs. But that's gonna happen a little bit later in their presentations and things like that. So this is just basically like a primer, just basic kind of cliff notes right now. I'm not really gonna go too deep into that stuff. And then The major part of the program that that I'm most excited about, and I hope you guys are be excited about it as well, is the Headstart program. And this is going to be for the dogs that are in the back of the house. I know just surveying some of some of you guys that you want, you know, some people don't like to go into the back and things like that. So we kind of want to separate those groups. So so the ones who do not want to go in the back, they can do dog walking. It will still be benefiting the dogs. It will still be helping out the dogs, and they still will actually be learning some stuff as well. But they'll help the dogs in the front. The dogs that are in the back are going to be here for a longer amount of time. So we want to figure out other things that will be helpful to them when they're outside of the kennel and while they're inside of the kennel. And then the Head Start program is basically enrichment through training. And I think the dogs will benefit from this the most. So we will be doing some basic obedience, just a few basic obedience cues. We won't be going through all of them, but just some of the basic ones like focus and sit and things like that. There are some other ones that we will go into, but they will have to build on each other. And the more that we learn, the more that we can help the dogs in this way. I really want to have the dogs benefit when they're outside of the kennel, when they're inside in the kennel, and training actually really helps with that because it gives the dogs a little bit of a choice about what they're going to do in the kennel and things like that. So when we teach a dog how to sit, we can also work with that inside of the kennel as well. So it's giving the dog something to work on. So, hey, someone's passing me by, maybe I will want to sit. Maybe I'll get a reward for that. And in that way, it's going to help the dog become less stressful because in a way they're going to have a job to do. So, so with the walk, with just a walk, the dogs will, maybe be able to stretch their legs, and we still will do potty breaks and things like that. Don't get me wrong, but the focus is going to be on the basic training and things like that. So hopefully, this will also help with some of the volunteer retention, but just most of all, I just want to, just get these dogs to be less stressful and just teach you guys and work with you guys. I do really get a lot of joy of out of doing that and working with you. And I'll pass it over to Michelle. Al, did you want to say something about Luna?
Oh yes, please.
Yeah. So yeah.
You need to speak up.
Yeah. When you want to come closer, you can come closer. Yeah. And
it's only a 2-minute blurb.
Yeah. Maybe we can talk a little bit more. Thank you so much.
Hello, everybody. So I was hoping Rob might be able to get to the orange level dogs. Can I just mention that you started this program for Luna, and he allowed 3 of us volunteers to walk her and get her out of the kennel and do training with her that he was talking about earlier. So the leash training, focus, and luckily she was treat motivated. Anyway, this is just a feel good story. I run, and I was running the other morning in my neighborhood, and I saw a couple that looked really familiar, and they had the masks on, so it was hard to see their face, but it was Luna's mom and dad, and it was the picture that somebody had sent out when they were in their truck leaving with her. And I recognized Luna first, obviously, and I wasn't really sure, so I was maybe 20 feet away from them, and I just said, "Luna!" And the jelly belly started happening and the wiggling. She never jumped up on me, which I was so grateful for because she used to be kind of out of control before Rob spent an enormous amount of time with her. So she came over and the parents were so thrilled with her. She was sitting by the father, like she was sitting for you, Rob. And I just was so elated. And I just told them that we were so grateful for what they did and taking her and giving her a home. But I just wanted to share that I had seen her. She's doing awesome. They had a great little vest on the back of her, my buddy, my dog. Anyway, I'm so happy because Rob started this pilot program. I'm hoping it takes off. And I think working with her made all the difference in the world for Luna, that she found a home. And I don't think she would have if you didn't put the time, Rob, into the training with her. and she loved you immensely. Like she would stand by you like you were her father, but now she has a new father. So I just wanted to share that, Rob. I'm very grateful that you let us walk her and you let us train her and work with her. Thank you.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Thank you so much. Oh,
You're
I don't even know
welcome.
that story. Makes it really good. Yeah, so thank you for that, Michelle. Yeah, I mean, I only started it off, and you know, yourself, James, and Rie, like you really pushed it along, right? You know, me just being the team that I am, being a single person and things like that right now. I really want to like train you guys so that you can help in that way. And I know you guys have been asking for it. I know you've been like eager for it and things like that. So, you know, without your guys' help, that wouldn't have not been possible. So thank you so much. And yeah, thank you for the start. It makes me feel really good. But that's things that so as we build on the foundation, so we're just gonna do the foundational things right now. So, you know, just doing like the basic you know, basic sit, stays, and things like that. And then later on in the program, I want to, you know, teach you guys more about behavior mod and do maybe even more greater things. A lot of things that I have in mind right now. I don't want to, I guess I'll just tease with it right now, but yeah, I just want to just build this program with you guys' help. And yeah, just hopefully you like it. Like I said, maybe you guys can be the behavior staff. So but yeah, but you know, all of this is going to benefit the dogs, and I hope you enjoy doing it. And you know, we're just trying to make this sustainable. So I guess this itself will be kind of a pilot program and things like that, so we can see where we can build it, or we can build the program. I do have some ideas, but you know, based on the success of this, it may change a bit and things like that. But I definitely want to be able to help more dogs, and I know you guys want to be able to help more dogs. And I think that, you know, actually training will be able to, you know, we'll be able to succeed in that goal. So yeah. Other changes that are actually part of this part of the program would be just exit and entry flow. So this is another feedback that I've gotten from you volunteers. Thank you so much. Is that there's a bottleneck because we're only using one gate right now. So there's a bottleneck. There's blind spots and things like that, and some of the dogs will will touch noses, or you guys jump back, you know, because you guys are you know, very vigilant about you know, where you're walking and things like that. But we wanted to make it a little bit easier on you and less stressful on the dogs. So right now we're gonna have, after, you know, starting today, and once I put the signs up, I have the photos here, but well, I'm sharing the screen. But yeah, we will actually have a 2-gate system going on for the dogs that are coming from the adoption area, and also coming from 30s and the 40s and things like that. But I'll talk more about the changes in each individual training. And then we'll also have a flow in the back as well for the back of the house. So there'll be a little bit of a change in the flow. But the bigger change, so, you know, hopefully that will help dogs yeah, actually be less stressful, have the volunteers be less stressful, have staff be less stressful as well, because we'll try to have the staff also follow this as well. So we have some messaging out. So you will see some signs up soon on the brown gates. And then another bigger change will be, which will also help with the training and help with control of the dogs. We'll be changing some of our walking equipment. I know that I've spoke with some of the volunteers and actually surveyed you guys and many of you said, yes, you did like the slip leashes, and I've always kind of wanted to kind of lean towards that way. So we do have the opportunity to do that, and that will be coming up very soon. So we'll be moving towards slip leashes, and we'll be using harnesses a little bit more. So we actually have a system in how we're going to use the harnesses. So anything over 50 pounds will be required to have a harness, and we'll have some of our staff take the lead on that. But also, you know, the volunteers, as you guys do know how to change the, you know, fit fit the harnesses, you guys can actually help and be and assist in that and just make sure that this happens. So it'll be kind of a team effort between staff and volunteers just to make sure this this will work out. Again, any dogs that require harnesses, they can always get it. Doesn't have to be dogs that are 50 pounds. We know that we have pullers. So anything that's pulling incessantly, or you feel like you do need a harness, anything under 50 pounds, we can, use our discretion for that. But definitely anything over 50 pounds will just be more of a mandatory type thing. So we want to be looking at cards and things like that. So I'll get a little bit more into that a little bit later. And so with that, we will be kind of shying away from or phasing out the use of martingales, because when we use the slip leashes will actually be snug enough that they will not slip off if we do use them properly. So we will train on that and make sure that we can use them properly. Also, for pulling and things like that, if pulling is our concern, we want to be using harnesses more anyway, because it's going to alleviate any of the stress that's going to be on the neck. So it'll be more on the sternum and the body and things like that. So when we are using the harnesses, we will use clip leashes. So we will still have those available. And but we will talk more about that and then how we're gonna roll that out a little bit later on in other presentations. But I just want to let everyone know that that's what's going on, and that's the way that we're leaning right now.
Just want to tell them that we're going to give everyone a slip leash. You're going to tell them we're getting that slip leash.
Yes. So for attending this presentation and for being wonderful volunteers, and so you guys will get a slip leashes. So those will be free of charge. And but if you want additional slip leashes, there would be a fee for that. And then also anybody who's coming in will be charged for slip leashes as well and things like that. So thanks.
Yes, they're in charge of it. Yeah, they're not.
Yes, you guys will be in charge of it. You guys will be in charge of it, laundering and things like that. So it will be yours. So we won't be in charge of it. We'll have the clip leashes like we used to have, but the slip leashes will be yours. You will be in charge of it, laundering, and actually it will be your responsibility to bring it when you are doing walks and things like that. But we will go a little bit more into detail for that. But that's a major change. So when we do have it, we will roll it out, and then we'll remind everyone on those